by Chris van der Drift.
There has been a massive accident on the backstretch here of Chris van der Drift for Olympiacos.
There's bits everywhere and fire and smoke and all that, and turning around and flipping and crashing, and I definitely had a lot of luck on my side to get through it like that.
The rain car has taken his first ever win in Superleague, and amazingly he has maintained this record of winning in anything he's ever driven here at Brands Hatch. This is a battle between the two championship contenders.
Yeah, we're back on the pace. Woo-hoo!
And if things stay as they are, AC Milan will have a 2-point advantage in the championship.
Welcome to round number 8 on the Superleague Formula 2010 Tour, hosted this weekend from the technical, tight, twisty racetrack at Adria. Now, as the name implies, the track sits close to the Adriatic Sea in the north of Italy. Just about an hour's drive outside the picture-perfect seaside town of Venice, Adria is drawing lots of local and tourist fans to the Superleague races this weekend. AC Milan lead the championship, but only just. Their driver Jelmer Berman understands the need to score well at this event.
It's just important to score good points. I mean, 106 points in a weekend, it's difficult to make a gap, but if something goes wrong, then with 106 points, even if you have a gap, it's gone like the wind, So it's just important to keep on scoring points.
Just 2 points ahead of Craig Dolby of Tottenham Hotspur in the championship standings. This weekend will prove if Superleague Formula's season trophy and the €1 million prize that comes with it are within the reach of either Mr. Consistency or the overtaker. Both Berman and Dolby needed all their driving skills to avoid collision with another Superleague car that had crashed heavily at race 2 in Brands Hatch last time out.
I don't know.
Oh, that's a huge accident by Chris van der Drift.
There has been a massive accident on the backstretch here of Chris van der Drift for Olympiacos.
He had a massive crash. I hope everything is okay. I hope he's okay.
Red flag has been called. No surprise there.
I see the crash. The car is very, very bad. I hope for him.
Oh, and that's a terrible, terrible accident.
I saw it on the screen. I think he can be alive. It was the worst day on a track that I have in my life. So and I was completely shocked.
Then I sort of looked up at the screen and saw his car upside down, and I was like, no, you're in shock for ages. That's not him. It didn't feel real. But for a good 10 minutes, we didn't know if he was alive or not. And not much was said.
Just bits everywhere and fire and smoke and all that, and turning around and flipping and crashing, and I definitely had a lot of luck on my side to get through it like that.
Well, we went to the medical centre and we got there, and he was all, his clothes had been cut off him, and he was in a brace, and you just want to cuddle him and kiss him and make it all better. And he looked at me and goes, "I was fast, eh?" And you feel like, no, shut up.
My ankle was dislocated, or it wasn't connected anymore, so that was all busted. So I've got a few bolts and plates and that holding it together. And then I've got a small bone in my right wrist, which is broken, and my little pinky finger was dislocated and poking in another direction. And my shoulder blade, there's a small crack, I think. And then I've got my index finger, which was basically cut open, just that finger from top to bottom, really.
Our thoughts go with Chris van der Drift. Let's hope he's okay.
Now I need to have a good comeback, really, I think, and not try to rush it too much, that I come back and then run around at the back of the field, but come back and do really well again, or just lift off where I was, or even better, and that'd be absolutely perfect, I think.
For Chris, in my opinion, the place should be for him. So we are still waiting, and I personally wish him all the best, that he recover quick and come back to the team.
He's not allowed to do it again. I said, don't do it again or you're grounded forever.
Van der Drift's teammate Max Wissel of FC Basel had a close call driving around the wreck of the Olympiacos car.
Yeah, first of all, you have to see that you don't crash him. And after this, normally you know when you see the yellow flags, you stay nearly on flat because you stay in the race. But I was under the bridge and you couldn't see it. It was down the hill. And yeah, you brake and have a look and you just see the car, everything's destroyed. It's a horrible moment for every driver.
Little did Wissel know that the survival cell of Van der Drift's car was completely intact and that Van der Drift would be able to recover completely from his injuries. The Superleague car, constructed by Elan Motorsports, has proven to be an extremely safe and reliable car.
Oh, that's a huge accident by Chris Van der Drift.
I see the crash. The car is very bad. I hope for him.
Obviously, I hope Chris is all right. Mainly, you know, I'm a racing driver. We know the risks.
3 cars went left, and there was just a wheel in the centre of the track, and I had to go right. And then there was just debris everywhere. I tried not to hit the big bits, and then you could just see Chris upside down at the bottom of the hill. But you know, as soon as after the accident, we went racing again.
Lights out, away we go. It's Beijing in front.
What we have here in Super League, there is a big car, and this saves the life of Chris, because if you have seen the other cars, that the monocoque was broken and everything on the car was destroyed.
There are basically front and rear impact structures, there are side impact structures, and then of course the one that everybody knows about is the roll hoop above the driver's head. And in the case of Chris Van der Drift and Olympiakos, the heaviest impact was in the side, and the impact structure on the right hand side and the basic structure of the monocoque itself really held up fantastically well.
If you see the picture from the accident in slow motion, you see that the first impact on the bridge was exactly here, and this saved his life.
He came away with remarkably few injuries considering the intensity of the impact.
So Chris is lucky to be alive, really, but shows how strong the cars are, and yeah, it was one big one.
I could say in a few other racing series, if it did that crash, I wouldn't be talking about it now either. So lucky that Super League, the car is big and it is heavy and it's durable really, and it's tough enough to withstand that sort of crash. So for that side, it's good, and I think everyone else should be that worried. I know they can do some pretty big crashes and get away with it.
This is the pit of GU Racing, and after weeks of hard work, there's a rebuilt Olympiakos car ready for battle this weekend at Adria. British driver Ben Hanley makes his debut. He'll step out of the car when Chris Van der Drift is fit to race again.
Well, obviously after the unfortunate incident at Brands, I'll be replacing Van der Drift in the Olympiakos car this weekend. And that's how it came about, really. You know, there was a free place, and I'm not contracted to any series so far this season, so the opportunity was here, and it's great to take.
Here at Adria, we will welcome another 3 drivers to the Super League. They're making their first time outings as well.
The intention was this year to drive in Super League, but we didn't manage budget-wise, so I looked for another option, so I did the Italian F3. But I was still in contact with some teams, and yeah, suddenly there was a place available, and yeah, here I am.
Es nuevo para todos, tanto para mí como para el equipo, y sabemos que en las carreras anteriores no ha ido muy bien, pero tenemos el objetivo de estas carreras de final de temporada, sobre todo este fin de semana, aprender, saber cómo va el coche, cómo son las reacciones, cómo ponerlo a punto de la mejor manera, e ir carrera a carrera mejorándolo para estar ya el año que viene y ser más competitivo.
There's a lot more weight and a lot more power than what I'm ever used to, so it's going to be quite interesting first time in the car and getting to sample the horsepower.
This weekend's 4 freshmen will definitely need some laps to get used to the 750 brake horsepower available at the throttle without the help of racing electronics like ABS and traction control. One of the most experienced drivers of this type of car is Julian Jus. He'll be pushing hard at this Italian race for the fans of his team, AS Roma. Let's hear from him about the do's and don'ts on the Adria track.
Julian Jus, AS Roma.
I'll start for the first lap. Start line here. Big break here, but not straight at the end. And here I lost to the rear of the car. Very difficult exit because it's not straight and difficult for the traction. Small straight. Difficult break as well because it's not straight. And here the exit is very, very long, so to go full power it's very tough. This track is, this corner is very, very tricky, but only one line, so it's quite okay and easy. Difficult exit as well, difficult to find the traction. This chicane is difficult with the curve, the car moving a lot. And this corner is not enough quick to find enough downforce, so the car slides a lot, it's very difficult. And at the end, the double left is very slow. To go on a power, it's very tough. Keep the line, keep the control of the car, it's very difficult. On the last corner, to prepare the straight line and try to finish a good lap time. It's a very difficult track and very difficult for the race, I think. So we will see the spectacle for the race.
First job of the day, as always, to find out which group the teams are in. And with only 4 going through to the quarters and then the semis, this can be pivotal for the rest of the qualifying performance. This is how Group A looked, the top 4 going through, with Flamengo, Sevilla, Corinthians and Olympic Lyonnais missing out. In Group B, we lost Maria de Vallota with a shoulder injury before we even went out. So qualifying was Anderlecht, Roma and Olympiacos, with Liverpool in 4th, Spurs out of it.
I'm not bothered, I was quicker than in our group. Simon's just said I would have been P3 in Group A. Tomorrow we'll come out with a rocket ship and yeah, Bob's your uncle.
First quarter-final saw Anderlecht take on championship leaders AC Milan, and it was Anderlecht who took a surprise victory and cruised to the semi-finals. Quarter-final 2, Olympiacos versus FC Basel. This one a little tighter affair, particularly as they were swapping times in the middle, but it would be Olympiacos who took it. Quarter-final 3, Roma versus Porto. Pick a winner from this one as they came across the line, tight again, Porto taking it. Liverpool versus Beijing, going new boy Frederick Vervisch for Liverpool came up against John Martin, who was on fire. Martin posting the fastest time of the whole of the quarter-final rounds. Semi-final 1 then, Anderlecht versus Olympiacos. Could Ben Hanley continue this tremendous run? He started well and took an early lead, but Anderlecht came back and took the semi-final.
1:06.7, that's another great time by Anderlecht, and that's not going to be beaten, surely. No, it's not.
FC Porto up against John Martin and Beijing. John Martin on real form this weekend, and he took it up another notch here, clocking the fastest time of the round.
Well, that is a remarkable run again by John Martin. What consistency!
The road to pole position and the final. Beijing versus Anderlecht. The nerves playing a part on the pit wall and in the cockpit as John Martin locked his front tyres into turn 1, and from then he was playing catch-up. Anderlecht took the opportunity and blazed through to a splendid pole position.
That's it, almost half a second. Great job, Davide, great job.
A magnificent pole for Anderlecht. Davide on pole position. Look further down and you'll see some of the big names like Jelmer Berman way out of it. Craig Dolby second in the points, coming in here in 9th position. But at the front of the grid, it's all about Anderlecht.
We will see. It's a long race. 45 minutes here will be about 42 laps. It will be a long race. It will be a lot of strife for the brake, for the car, for the gear, a lot of change. We will see.
Tottenham Hotspur and Craig Dolby had an awful start to the weekend. They finished up in 9th, part of that because they didn't get any track time in the first practice with an engine problem. The guys worked hard and fixed it, and he got out, but you've got to think that losing that time has cost him.
Craig Dolby then thinking about what he's going to do from 9th place. There's Max Vissel for Basel. Well, we've seen him on the podium many times. Ben Hanley, he's the real super sub this weekend for Olympiacos. But can anyone catch Anderlecht? Here's the track at Adria where we're about to do battle. It's tight, it's twisty, it's technical, it's all about traction from the rear wheels, overtaking spots turn 1 and turn 2, but you'll have to be brave.
Once the red lights go out, and then we'll be racing for 45 minutes. The clock starts, and it was a rather ragged start, but Roman did get away. Down towards turn 1, in fact, it's Martin who's having to defend, and you've got to say, with a few lockups behind, that the pole sitter has done a cracking job there.
Yeah, no, there was a cracking job there, but we've got him over it, off in the grass, and he holds it together. Brilliant driving skills. and it's going to be a bit of a mess. And look who's on the charge. Craig Dolby told us he's going to charge.
He's gone wide though in turn number 2. The Spurs car just slipping out to the outside, and that's very slippery out there. There's all kinds of dirt and debris. He's weaving around trying to clean up his tyres. On board with Craig now as he goes down the inside and makes up another position.
Yeah, that was a brilliant attacking move. He's got past Yelmer Berman, the man he's got to beat in the championship, and now Berman's under pressure by Liverpool FC. This is a brilliant start.
Now this is on board with championship leaders AC Milan. Yelmer Berman having a look at the start. Looked like he got a decent enough start there.
Yeah, but a little bit softer brakes. And let's see, he got balked up. And where does Tottenham come past AC Milan in the beginning here? He's still in front now. It must get a little bit messy. Everyone had to check up when that car came back. And there you go, Tottenham.
Wow.
Straight through there. Brilliant move.
Yeah, Craig Dolby round the outside mid at 1, 2, 3, 4 positions, then lost a couple through turn 2. But of course, we saw him making them up later on the first lap as he dived down the inside to the penultimate hairpin. Back to the action now. There is Craig Dolby going through the shot for Tottenham Hotspur down in 7th position. Now look, already you can see that AS Roma's gone up a couple of places. Spurs have gone up 2. Galatasaray making up positions. Liverpool and Porto, the guys who have lost out.
Look at the dark sky, so maybe rain could be a factor later on in this race, and that's maybe what the guys are getting ready for.
There's been no wet weather running here. It's been glorious weather from the moment we turned up. Limited running here in Super League Formula by Son and Goal.
Look how close AC Milan are. They're really hunting them down.
This is coming out of turn number 2, heading on to the infield straight. There's another hairpin at the end of this. It's the slowest corner on the circuit. Most drivers taking it in second, some going all the way down to first. On the gearbox, Dolby punches out of there pretty well. But again, just look at how much the car is moving around with Yelmer Berman closing down on him. And Dolby again locking up that right front. That's the unloaded right front tyre going into turn number 2. And look at this. Once again, this is the view that Yelmer Berman's getting, and he's got to be taking a whole host of confidence from seeing how much Craig Dolby is, well, I was going to say struggling, but he's having to work certainly very hard indeed.
Yeah, no, he's having to work very, very hard indeed. And here we go, the front guys. And is that a soft position? No, they're still in the same position there. So here comes Tottenham. They're a long way behind the leader now, so I think any chance of a podium. Oh, there's AC Milan. Look up the inside. There was a good dive, really putting the pressure, but look, he loses a lot of time out of that corner. Oh, and it looked like he just touched the grass, and Tottenham looking very concerned on the pit wall there.
4th, 5th and 6th on the screen on the infield hairpin, and it's the 5th position. Basel and Porto who are closest at the moment. Thank you, Maria. And we'll hopefully see you in Portugal in a couple of weeks' time. More than that as the weekend progresses.
And this is a fascinating battle. FC Porto, a really quick car this weekend. They struggled at the start of the race, losing a couple of positions. Let's go for a replay. And really
moments.
kicking up the dust. That's always a nice little trick. You just touch the grass and throw a bit of dust into the back of your other competitor there.
You're not suggesting that he did that deliberately, Mr. Bamber, are you?
No.
Just to put off his competitor behind. Get a bit of dirt on the visor. Across the line then, 4th, 5th and 6th, Roma, Porto, Basel and Porto. The gap was half a second at the line. And again, they're running very wide here. I'm just beginning to wonder now if Rick Smith and Bernard Cottrell, our 2 race officials, are starting to look at these guys, as we've still got a little bit of moisture on that forward-facing camera.
Yeah, we've got moisture on the forward-facing camera, and also I imagine by the end of the next lap we're going to have the pit stop window starting to open. We can see the team starting to prepare. This is going to be a crucial phase, especially for these 3 right here. They're so close, and a second in the pit stops gained by the team is going to make a huge difference to outright position in the race. Also for the other championship leads, but this man out front.
Now he's got a tough decision because he's got 3 seconds on the field. He's going to go through, and the pits will not be open when he finishes this lap. But some of the guys behind him may yet get a chance to pit before him. Now Maria de Vallotto alongside us. Early pit stop here, or if you were out in the lead, would you stay out and try and keep the lead?
Well, I think for Ghana, he has to keep pushing now because he's doing such a good lap times, and for him, I think there's no point of coming in. We also have to keep an eye in the exit of the pit lane, because if you do have some cars going into the first braking, it's going to be so difficult. That can be the definitive for the race.
That's a very good point, actually. The blend line, you'll see it now, is the leader coming in. He is! Now, this is a calculated risk because he's got 3 seconds on the rest of the field. John Martin coming in to Beijing going. So top three runners are all in. Look how tight it is at the pit lane. There's a little squirt of 750 horsepower. The pit lane speed limit doesn't start at that line, and there are people who's going through. And it looks like Basel have gone through. They're the first of the cars who have not stopped. Here's the leader in the pit lane with us. Anderlecht with the pit lane time running. David Regon sitting there. There's nothing he can do now. That looks like a pretty...
that looks like a slow stop. John Martin's through. He's made it. That was a crucial stop. Fantastic stop by the Beijing team, and Olympiacos out a little bit slow, but that was what we were talking about, and AC Milan, the championship leader, was in as well, so Tottenham's out for another lap. But that was a brilliant stop by the Beijing team. And the leaders are now being held up by the Flamingo car, so this could affect the other guys that are still running around on the track as John Martin's trying to look up the inside of the Flamingo car, so this is very crucial in the race. Can Craig Dolby capitalise on it? Because this is costing them seconds right now. This is not what they wanted.
In comes FC Basel. They were leading the race. Craig Dolby is in as well with a big blast of power. Also, Vavish for Liverpool comes in, locks up the front tyres as he hits the marks in the pit lane. Now the previous leading pack has been released, but have they lost time, and how much time have they lost? This is Craig Dolby in the pit lane. Another really important manoeuvre. Well, the leaders have gone through, but has he made up some ground on them? As John Martin now is through. Corinthians will lead the race, but still owe us a pit stop.
Yep, no, that's exactly right. Oh, and here we go, big battle. AC Milan, can he get past the Tottenham car? He's up the inside. What's going to happen here? Touch! His wind's gone!
And that could be a left rear puncture as well for Tottenham. They have very, very sharp edges to those wings. This is the championship battle on the circuit coming down to turn 2, and Dolby's got a left rear puncture, just as I thought.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely crucial for the championship. Left rear puncture, and he's out. Davide Regon's got past John Martin, so that's crucial for the race lead. Where did Davide Regon get past? A brilliant move. It's so hard to pass around here, so that's crucial for the race lead, because this will be effectively the race lead when the others pit, as Corinthians are into the pits. So that means Davide Regon resumes the race lead now.
And as they go across the line, this is where the effective lead, throws the dummy coming down into turn 2, and I'm expecting to see the green car run wide, and that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, that was brilliant move by Davide Regon. As we see AC Milan in the pits as well, changing a nose. Fortunately for these guys, they'll be back at the front of the grid for the next race, but that's a great shame for the championship leaders.
Well, just what we were seeing at the start of the show, that there are still so many teams in here, as we'll have to have another pit stop. But what this will mean is another brand new set of 4 tyres. It won't just be the left rear that's changed. Well, they look like they've been slightly scrubbed, but certainly...
The penalty, that was out of order. He knew I turned in, there was no room for him.
And that was the voice of Craig Dolby.
As it stands right now, Anderlecht would take the championship lead by 5 points. It's an incredible turnaround. So, and Olympiacos there in the background as well. They're really closing in. So what a race this could be. This could be pivotal in the championship. Davide Regon's won Super League formally before, so he knows how to win this championship.
And there is FC Basel in 5th position in the championship as it stands at the moment, and sitting in 4th position in this race. Again, the point is made that with so many points on offer over a weekend, big changes in the championship can happen. It's not like this championship is going to be won anywhere near before the end of the season.
FC Basel, they're looking very, very quick right now. They're trying to hunt down the Olympiacos car. Max has always been a very, very strong driver, very consistent. At one stage, he was the only driver to make all the super finals throughout the season. So he's been doing a great job. As we see, AC Milan are really putting pressure on the Lyon car right now. This is really important, because the more positions AC Milan can make up right now, he might actually regain that championship lead and still hold on to it just. So this is really, really important for AC Milan right now to try to get past the Lyon car, but it's not easy to overtake. Maria, when you were out there in practice, did you see any overtaking opportunities?
Yeah, it's not easy. When you are behind the car, it's not easy to overtake with all the aerial. But I'm sure that now the Milan car is getting a little bit worried, a little bit upset, because, yeah, these points for him can be very important.
So we are just under 20 minutes still to run of the 45. My goodness me, that first part of the race has gone very quickly. Just looking at the comparative lap times there, FC Basel, Max Wissel, as Maria pointed out early on, the fastest car on the circuit to this point. Everybody has been and done their pit stops. Now the worry is whether you can make those tyres run all the way to the end and get the best performance out of them. And the dark clouds to the north of us over the far side of turn number 1.
Yeah, no, those dark clouds are lingering. I imagine that AC Milan and Tottenham have really got their fingers crossed that that rain does come along. As we see Liverpool FC, they were battling earlier, and Galatasaray has got past Liverpool FC now. It looks like he's struggling with the rear tyres a little bit.
That's the battle for 7th and 8th. Frederic Verviche, the Belgian, one of our 4 new drivers this weekend. And kudos to all the new drivers though, because you can't go out and test a Super League Formula car anywhere else other than a race weekend. This is Lyon with AC Milan behind them. Every single point that AC Milan can grab back here could take them back to the top of the championship standings. And there the door is open, just a fraction. Can he get through Berman? Having a little look, he doesn't do it here. Will he dive back to the inside? No, he'll bide his time on the start-finish straight. Maybe a precious push to pass being used here by both Olympic Lyonnais and by AC Milan.
AC Milan's on the push to pass, so he's obviously looking to make a move. He dives up the inside, does he get it done? Don't run it wide on the exit, and Lyon lock up, and perfect move by AC Milan. That's what he needs to do, and now he's going to be on a charge.
And now he's being sprung like a cork from a bottle. Be interesting to see just how quickly AC Milan, now in 12th position, PSV will be the next target for him. Now, Anderlecht and AC Milan now 477 each, so absolutely even on points, purely on alphabetical order. Do we have to give them a 1 and a 2? On board with the Olympiacos car now, back marker staying out of the way for this battle for position. This is hugely important for Olympiacos if they want to keep their championship hopes alive. They're within touching distance of the top 3 clubs. Riding the curves quite heavily there towards the end of the race, and Hanley must be gaining in confidence with every single lap of this 1.6 mile circuit.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Ben Hanley is really, really charging. Here we go, let's look at a replay. He gets so close, John Martin almost outbrakes himself, and Ben Hanley does get up the inside, but then John Martin closes the door and he can't get on the throttle. Otherwise it would have been disaster, and both of them could have been out of the race.
AC Milan have gone by PSV according to that picture. That will put them back to the top of the championship, and that's been a great comeback drive by Jelmer Berman.
Yeah, no, that's a brilliant job by Jelmer Berman, keeping his composure, not throwing the car off the road, and just slowly chipping back some points. It's going to be a great result for him. It's not what he wanted at the start of the day, but at least he's got that championship lead back. Oh, as we see Liverpool up the inside of Galatasaray. Perfect move in turn 1. Can he get the power down? And Galatasaray is going to attack him back. Liverpool's using their last ever push to pass, and Galatasaray looks like they might try and make a move on the next corner.
Oh, Liverpool's right! That was just, again, a slight mistake on the brakes, and Galatasaray goes by, and all that hard work by Frederic Verviche is gone in a moment. Let's go down to the pit lane, where Abby is waiting for us.
At the beginning of the race, problems with the gearbox, and after problem with brakes, many problems technical. But mid the race, the times are good. I hope in the race 2, in first, second line, I can go the race.
We are entering one of the last laps, and Liverpool FC just got past Galatasaray.
Yeah, that was all about the back markers in the final corner. Into the last lap, goes wide, locks up the rear tyres. That is going to be very, very important. Liverpool picking up some extra points. Here's the final corner. Anderlecht with pole position and the race win. Picture perfect for Davide Aragon.
Yeah, Davide! Good one, good one, good one. Great race, good one. Well done.
Well, that is very, very impressive indeed. Let's confirm those results then. Look at the margin of victory. Davide Aragon backing off and still winning by 3.6 seconds from John Martin for Beijing. Olympiacos, well, what a great fillip for the injured Chris van der Drift watching at home. Hello, Chris. Basel, Roma, Porto, Liverpool, Corinthians, Galatasaray and Flamengo in the top 10. But the big story, AC Milan fighting back to 11th position. Jelmer Berman sleeping off the start, but then had that little incident and then really coming back strong at the end of the race.
The champion will finish in Navarra, so now it's very fantastic to close the gap of them. It was a dream when we started in Silverstone because we were so behind. We worked fantastic with the team, we work very well, and we are here to fight for the champion. Fantastic.
Well, fight for the championship he is. Look at that. Anderlecht have leapfrogged Tottenham Hotspur into second position behind AC Milan. Davide Rigon wins that race, but that means he has to start from the back for the next one. Stay with us and find out. Welcome back to Adria and to Super League Formula by Soningol. The crowd have been already entertained by race 1 and we're getting ready for some more action in race number 2. Undercover for the paddock here, that's a unique feature of the circuit, and it means the teams never have to work in bad weather. Well, before we get to the grid, let's talk about Tottenham Hotspur and Craig Dolby. He's had some bad luck all weekend, and in the first race, one of the major talking points as Spurs came out of the pits, championship rival Jelmer Berman for AC Milan up the inside. There's contact, the left rear tyre of the Spurs car going down, meaning Craig had to come back to the pits, and effectively his race was over. The mark on the side of the tyre was the clue we needed.
Craig, what a time in the season to have that incident with Jelmer. What's your take on it?
I think everyone could see what happened. I left him enough room and he drove into the back of my car and gave me a puncture. So I'll say no more about that one. It's unfortunate because you give the driver enough room to be there and they take too much advantage of it and drive into you, and it ruined both of our races.
You had to go and see the stewards, both of you, afterwards. What did they say?
I'm not commenting on that one. You know, if you want to go and ask the stewards what they said, then yeah, you can do. But I wasn't too pleased with that one.
Did you speak to Jelmer then?
Nope. So.
Okay, well, that's behind us. You've got to look forward. Can you make the super final? That's the question.
Yeah, I'm just going to go and do my own race and see what happens. You know, it was championship still close. So yeah, we look at the positives, and the bad luck's got to change at some point. You know, we seem on quite a long run of it, and I've just got to smile and keep myself in high spirits, and we'll get it back.
We both lost a lot of time, lost a lot of points, and all we can do now is hope for a better race in the second one.
Jelmer, it's so close at the top of the championship. Davide Rigon now is right in the mix as well.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, he's further back. We're a bit more further to the front, or at least I'm. And hopefully I can make this gap a bit bigger again and then go from there.
Do you get the feeling he's psyched up? Thelthor Maiguez leads off for Olympique Lyonnais with Marco Martinez of Sevilla alongside him. Craig Dolby and Howell Lloyd are on row 2. Jelmer Berman, there he is. How quick can he start? Duncan Tappy from Flamengo, well, he's due a podium as well, isn't he? Tristan Gomedy for Galatasaray, he's always a good fighter. Vervish, new boy for Liverpool. Julian Jus and Max Wissel behind them. Ben Hanley for Olympiacos, John Martin and Davide Rigon, of course, they were the first 3 from the first race. Rolling off on the formation lap for race number 2.
John Martin, it's John Hindhaugh in the booth. You got a lot to do from the back here, mate. You got a new set of tyres on there?
No, they're all we used good tyres in race 1, but they're still pretty good, so we're going to see what we can do from the back.
The pace car is in the pit lane. Olympique Lyonnais on pole position, closest to the pit wall, nails it. And they go down towards the red lights, which go off on turn green, and we're racing around the way. Race 2 here at Adria. It's a great start. Lyonnais trying to defend, but on the inside they're not going to be able to do it, and they're going to lose the position straight away and off the track.
Yeah, and huge slide by Tottenham. And AC Milan's up a little bit wide, but can Tottenham get into second place? I don't know, they're all in a nice straight line. Come on, nice and tidy, guys, through the second corner. Oh, and AC Milan's up the inside there of PSV.
That was a tremendous manoeuvre. Flamengo with Duncan Tappy ahead in fourth position. So it's AC Milan making the better start of the 2 championship contenders as we head to the infield hairpin side-by-side action. Bit of a fight back there. AC Milan having to defend. But what a great start it's been at the head of the field. Craig Dolby perhaps just a little bit quieter than we thought, but that might be good. Keeping himself in check, curbing his emotions. He was really wound up after race 1.
Really wound up, but that's a brilliant start. Everyone's got nice and settled. The 2 quickest guys at the back of the field here. Ben Hanley's going to look to charge through the field as well. Watch these guys in the back when it comes to the round of the pit stops, but that's a nice settled opening lap. And it's so close between these quick guys at the back right now.
Then look at this, John Martin having a good run down the outside of Ben Hanley, who goes to the inside of the corner, defending hard in the Olympiacos car, excuse me. It's too exciting for me to even talk here as Martin has another look coming down to 2. He seems to have position and squeezes through. Now he's on the outside. He's going to drop it out right there and the zero break.
No, and now he's going to lose the position to Anderlecht. That's terrible. That was was a little bit of a mistake. It just shows how wrong it can go in a matter of seconds as we have Anderlecht looking up the inside of Olympiakos. Now this is a brilliant race.
No, you're not seeing things. That is the leader, and that is the gap from Sevilla back to Olympic Lyon in second place. Look how bumpy it is on the turn, and he's taking a very, very late turn into turn number 1.
Yeah, that's incredible pace. That's qualifying pace that Sevilla's going on at the moment. So he's going to be a hard man to catch out front. He is on the push to pass, but that's still a blistering pace. The second place man is only at a 1:08.2, so close to a full second quicker as we have pressure from John Martin on the FC Porto making a move.
This is on Liverpool into turn number 2. Watch on the left-hand side for the red card. Porto cuts across. I think he's made that, you know. Not that's Barca. Max Whistle's been turned around.
And that's Galatasaray right now. He's out. Spun around. That's unfortunate for Christian Company. Good first race, but that's all come to unstuck right now. And that's what happens when you reverse good races. Fast cars trying to get through, and these things happen. But good to see he's back out on track and still kept the car running. Let's go for a replay. And that's AS Roma just locked the brakes on the entry, and round he goes. Couldn't do much about it, not Christian Company's fault.
Well, a lock up there by Dolby as he is showing his intent coming into the final corner. His problem is he's in the middle at the moment as Porto again are on the move, and that is the car that they were chasing down before. This is Corinthians ahead of him going down into turn number 1. Has a little look to the inside, but really wasn't close enough. Takes a slightly better entry to it, and look again, loads of opposite lock there, but he's got a great drive out of it. This could put him in position. And turn number 2, he'll go to the right-hand side. He's going to have to tough it out here, or try the old cut-back manoeuvre. Almost side by side. Can he get back on the victory with the Black Corinthians car? Answer, no.
Corinthians, Robert Dornbos, very wise driving, but is he going to look at so he's got him to block outside the hip, and he's going to look for a cross-back manoeuvre. Watch, he slows the car. No, can't do anything, but now he's got the run up into this chicane. It's going to be hard to pass here. It's going to be all on in a second.
Dornbos showing his experience there and slowing the Corinthians car right down on the infield hairpin. But he is in full defensive mode now. You can see by where he's putting the car on the road. He's placing the car in the middle of the road, getting to the inside of the corner nice and early. 2 hairpins before the end of the lap. Just perhaps outbrake himself a little bit there, Dornbos. The car sliding around. Now, who's going to use the power boost? Remember, 2. All of the cars have 8 push to pass. But it takes 90 seconds to recharge across the line here.
And one of these cars are on push to pass. Is he going to try and drive on the inside? No, he's not.
Oh, Dornbos slides under braking. That's a difficult place to get the car stopped. The Porto takes the chance. Side by side, Dornbos is trying to fight back. He's got some grip from the grass. Going down to turn number 2. One of them's going to have to give way or they'll come together here. Oh, that's a great manoeuvre by Porto and actually heads up driving by Dornbos. So Anderlecht here, starting from dead last, of course, having won the first race here, making progress through the field now up to 12th position, and there's some genuine passes in there. All right, there's been a couple of people who've thrown themselves at the scenery, but even so, that's pretty good by David Enrico.
And I think we've got a battle up front there. Tottenham, and Leon car's got a problem. That means Tottenham's gone through into second place. That's really, really important for the championship battle. And that car's slow, and it looks like he's got no gears left.
Yeah, that looks like a transmission or a driveline problem for Olympic Lyon, and that has gifted Craig Dolby second position. So Sevilla lead from Spurs now in second place and Bologna in third.
And that position is very important because Tottenham Hotspur have taken the championship lead back on 5:13 now with AC Milan in second. So it just shows how quickly things can change in Super League. Tottenham's down. Next minute they're on top of the championship standings again, so Craig Dolby will be a happy man in that car.
Now we're hearing a drive-through penalty against Roma, and we can only presume that was for the contact in turn 2 against Galatasaray earlier on. So that is going to take AS Roma out of the running, and in comes Flamengo. Duncan Tappy brings in and follows AC Milan and PSV all coming in as well. Now that's interesting. They've come in as soon as possible. Corinthians are in, Basel are in as well. So this is the first set of stoppers.
Yeah, this is crucial for AC Milan. They've got to get a good stop. It looks a little bit slow on the left front. They're out and away again.
Now they've got to be careful, there's no traffic coming behind them. They've got one of the first pits, but Milan are not going to be the first of the pit stoppers back out onto the circuit. That was a bit too late. It was from West Corinthians, and that's what it's on intake side by side of the pit lane. And Dornbos does get out just ahead.
You know, that was very, very close between those two cars. Brilliant stop for the Flamengo team. And Corinthians, I think, the pit lane, making a difference in this race. And you see the Leon car back in the pits as well. They've just returned to the race and they look like they're struggling at the pit stop again.
Well, they haven't made their mandatory pit stop, of course. They came in for mechanicals before. Now, this is important. Into the pit lane.
Race leader into the pit lane. This is a crucial stop for him. He's got a big lead, so the team can afford to take their time. And Tottenham into the pit lane as well. The championship leader is in the pits. This is a very important stop for him. AC Milan have made their pit stop, so can they beat them back out of the pits? Let's watch and see.
In the background, Liverpool coming in as well. Oh, the collision between Olympiacos and Anderlecht in the background. That's a very good stop for Craig Dolby. He's made up time, but he hasn't made up quite enough to jump the car ahead of him. So he will come back out. Now the big question is, where are the first of the pit stoppers coming around as they go back onto the circuit? Here they come down the straight. This is going to be tight indeed as we look back. That's a tremendous set of stops by Sevilla and Tottenham, and I think they've got around late.
This is a very important stop there. Oh no, Anderlecht have jumped. Olympiacos in the pit lane. That is hugely important as well, because those two are right in the thick of the battle. And the last person to stop at the moment is John Martin. He's still out on the track, so can he capitalise on all this drama in the pit lane?
Thelthor Marquez is pushed back into the pit lane. Now here's John Martin coming into the pit lane.
Nice tidy pit stop by the boys there. That's how he's going to get out of the pit lane. How much time did he lose?
Lots is the answer to that. He's going to drop in somewhere behind PSV. I don't even think he's... Yeah, he's dropped in there.
He hasn't actually lost that much ground. He's only behind the Anderlecht car and ahead of the Olympiacos car. So without that mistake, he could have been a lot further up the field. He says Anderlecht looks up the inside of PSV, can't get the job done in turn one.
Look like he's in a pretty good position now, but a slight mistake, and Anderlecht will come out side by side. We've seen this so many times again. Going down towards turn number 2, Anderlecht looks like it has got it done. He's got the preferred inside line for the left-hander in turn 2. That was a nice opportunist bit of driving. Made the opportunity for himself. The door came open, and he got his foot in it there and made sure it stayed open. As in comes FC Porto from the lead.
You know, this is a crucial pit stop right now. He's got a good gap on most people. Pits, team's got to go to work now. This is their part of the race. Let's see how it's done. Interesting, they put the same set of tyres back on. That was very interesting here. So let's see how he goes. Seville through, so he's not going to come back in the lead. I imagine he's going to come out in about 5th spot.
Yeah, maybe even better than that, because there's a bit of a gap from Seville back over. 2nd, 3rd, 4th now. He's got into 4th. Now can he hold on to that? But that is very interesting. Same set of tyres going. He's ahead of Jelmer Bowman and AC Milan, and that's not good news for Jelmer and AC. Why would you put the same tyres back on?
I can only think that they're trying to save a new set of tyres for the Super Final. As we see John Martin here for Beijing's got past PSV, so that's a very important pass for him there.
Let's just take a quick breath and work out what's going on here. Sevilla is leading by 6.4 seconds. There is the car. Tottenham Hotspur, 2nd place by, second 1.2 or thereabouts from Flamengo. In 3rd, you'll catch a glimpse of the red and white car. There it is in 3rd position. In 4th, and really playing the tactical card and playing it very well indeed, is FC Porto. The number 16 car, Alvaro Parent, has really done the job here in terms of working the pit stop window. And Vavish has actually got the grandstand seat there, hasn't he, watching these two tremendous drivers battling away. Berman does not want to give up any more ground. He must because Dolby is in 2nd place, and this time it is Vavish who's got the run. He's trying to go Buffalo Gals round the outside, and somehow he's made it stick, but he just drifts wide in the middle of the corner. It's all about the drive up turn 1, and it has been done. It's a tremendous manoeuvre. We haven't seen that being done all weekend, and Frederick Vavish, the new boy, decides that he knows how to drive better than some of the regulars. Sevilla leads by just 4.6 seconds now. It's been a steady drag back by Craig Dolby. And I want to say something about Craig now. We were wondering how his head was at the start of this race and whether he could get himself back together after the disappointments of the early part of the weekend.
And look at AC Milan, 11th on points. There's Liverpool FC got the inside of AC Milan. That's a crucial pass.
Frederick Vavish is not worried about the championship. The defending championship car is getting amongst that battle. Vavish, debuting in Super League Formula, has really set his sights on moving forward in this race, and he's doing a fine job. Jelmer Berman, his latest victim, and Dornbos is trying to pounce as well. Now, Porto have been stop-go penalised for a pit stop infringement. Now, we saw them put their own tyres back on again, and Liverpool are in trouble. Liverpool not punching out of that corner anywhere near the way they should have, and exactly in the place he took the position. Jelmer Berman has gone back again and reclaimed it. So was that just a little flop coming out of turn number 2 by Liverpool? It appeared to be that. Didn't get any drive at all. There's the leader.
Yeah, this is the leader, Seville, Marcos Martins. He's had a relatively quiet race at the front, a huge margin, but this man, Craig Dobby, slowly chipped away at the lead. Then we've got Flamengo, FC Porto, who does have a stop-go. In the background here, Basel, Anderlecht, and John Martin for Beijing.
This is a stop-go penalty, and that has blown any advantage they may have had.
You know, that's
infringement in the pit procedure.
That's a great shame for the FC Porto. They did a fantastic job. They didn't start at the front for that race either. They were up 6 spots, and now all of a sudden it comes to a great end with them having to do a drive-through penalty. So what a shame for Alvaro Torrent. He was looking really strong this weekend.
So here comes Sevilla across the line. As you can see from the timer in the top left, this will become the last lap of the race. Now here is the predictions. Anderlecht are through, Porto are through, Beijing look like they're going to get through, Sevilla, Basel, and at the moment, Flamengo, the top 6. Just one more corner to go. Sevilla stole away the lead on the first corner and made sure they held on to it. Tricky pick tactics from a number of people.
Super carrera!
Super Carrera indeed. Great race for Sevilla. What a good one as well by Craig Dolby for Tottenham Hotspur. Really mature, and that keeps them in the championship hunt. Duncan Tappy, well, he did a great job too for Flamengo in 3rd. Further down, not such a good day for Eindhoven, Galatasaray, Roma and Olympic Lyonnais.
Finally, we got it, but it was a really difficult race because at the start I had to push really hard to take a good pace. But after that, Craig Dolby was behind me really fast, but the car was perfect all the weekend because my mechanics and engineers did a really good job, and now I'm very happy for everybody, for the team, for my family, for me also, of course, and yeah, we will see now in the super final.
Only the top 6 go into the super final. Top 4 was relatively easy, but 5, 6 and 7 all had 58 points, so we had to go on results. Flamengo, the unlucky ones, in 7th place.
Let's go down to Abby in the pit lane before we get the cars rolling onto the circuit.
Gunther, that's a huge smile. The last time I saw you, it definitely wasn't there. It's great to have it back. Ben Hanley just stepped into the Olympiacos car. What a debut and what a tribute to Chris van der Drift.
Yeah, that's great. That's really great. And here we work, everybody, the whole team work for Chris. Chris, if you see this, we are working for you. Come back. And Ben is real good. He works as well for you.
This is going to be an interesting start because John is definitely not in his right spot on the right-hand side as well. Everybody did keep the engine running, and Anderlecht holds on. What a great start from Wissel. Wissel round the outside. Max Wissel for Basel is going to be forced wide. Can he keep the power on? Yes, he can. He'll drop into 2nd place. Anderlecht is going to be defending. John Martin down into 3rd place. But it's Rigon into turn 2 first. Julian Joos watching on from the pit lane, and again John Martin having to defend. Now we've seen the outside manoeuvre being pulled off here once before, but Ben goes back to the inside. Absolutely together coming down. The leaders are also battling. That is a phenomenal manoeuvre by Ben Hadley. He goes up into 3rd place. Meantime, Anderlecht defending stoutly from Basel. They're heading round to the final right-handed hairpin. Hadley is right with Max Wissel for 2nd. Anderlecht surely are not going to lose this one from here. Just get the power of Davide, get it home. He's going to win it.
Perfect weekend. Well done. Well done. Well done.
He's so excited he ran into the arm-core at the end of the pit lane. Davide Rigon takes the super final and €100,000, 6 bonus points.
There's the confirmation, and how important may those 6 bonus points be for Davide Rigon and Anderlecht at the end of the season?
It was difficult the first race because they had the new tires. It was unbelievable. Thank you to my fans to be here. I have no words. Fantastic.
Max Wissel, super final veteran, takes home €75,000.
Yeah, the weekend's absolutely fantastic for us. But yeah, I expect to win the Super Final with a new state of tire. David had one corner, so it's also a new one, but the peak from the beginning is not there. And I just one lap to overtake him. He did a brilliant job. He was blocking me, absolutely incredible. But yeah, 75,000 euros, I think it's not a bad result.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. You know, you couldn't ask for much more except for the win. So, you know, fantastic job to the team. You know, both cars have been fast all weekend. And yeah, I just went for it in the final.
Are you very, very proud of your boyfriend?
Yeah. He's wonderful. I'm very happy, very, very happy.
So that's how it stands as we leave the Adriatic coast of Italy. Tottenham Hotspur in the lead, only just from Milan and Anderlecht. And what looked like it could have been a bad weekend for Craig Dolby has turned out pretty good.
We're over the moon. The boys are unbelievable. ADR have done a fantastic job yet again and pulled me through.
Well, that's it for Italy. We move next to Portugal, another seaside circuit in Portimao.
Now looking ahead to Portugal, can you do it again?
Yeah, for sure. Different completely, much more fast than this. A lot of long corners. So now it's important to not do a mistake and stay close to the podium.
A track that looks very fast and flowing, which suits me in the car. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm very happy to race there, and I hope there will be a lot of people there.
What a weekend of contrasts at Adria. We've seen Spurs and AC Milan battling it out close, very close indeed. And it looks like Anderlecht want to join the championship party as well. On behalf of Abby Griffiths and Earl Bamber, I'm John Hindle. Bye for now.